Hey everyone, so we just finished this Python packages and virtual environments exercise. We're going to go move on to the next exercise with migrations. There's only one exercise this time. I don't think it should take as long as the previous one. For some reason, my computer was super slow, but let's get into it. So again, this is just going over the exercise. It's just a visual kind of code along guide. So definitely make sure to look at the videos, read the lessons, read all the directions on your own. Pause this video, as you see fit and appropriate. But let's get started out with these migrations. So again, always checking this, making sure that all of our Docker containers are up. Easy way to do it is just opening up Docker Desktop, making sure everything is green. If it's not green, just check everything and press play. If you don't see anything here, which, you should have all your containers because we've been doing this for 3 weeks. You can run this command, but Docker Desktop, everything's running. Green means you're good to go. Okay, so that is one thing of the prerequisite kind of setup. Other thing we need to do is activate the virtual environment. So if you're coming straight off the previous exercise, you want to make sure virtual environment is activated. You also want to make sure you have VS Code open inside of your Flask container. If you're not sure about that, you can go to the previous exercise. I'm pretty sure there's a link even in the directions. But we have everything open right here. My virtual environment, I'm just going to clear up this terminal. Clear is activated. Just since this is new, I can deactivate this just to show you guys how to set it up again. But source venv/bin/activate, and then press enter, and it is activated. I'm just going to clear this again. So yeah, we're all good to go here with the exercises as far as I'm concerned. Yep, we're good. So first we we have one more thing we need to check. Just a sanity check and getting practice with pip. We want to make sure that we have pip installed. Sometimes it's pretty common you forget to activate your virtual environment. Your virtual environment isn't activated. You don't have access to any of these packages because they're all inside that virtual environment. So we need to actually go and activate it. So just going to do pip show alembic. I just copied and pasted it. It's going to run and it's going to just tell us, yes, alembic is installed and here's everything about that package. So yeah, as you can see, yeah, okay, it ran pretty fast this time. That's good. So yeah, we got alembic right here. It's good. It might be a little bit different. The version number might be different, but basically want to see this. And again, if it says package not found, 9 times out of 10, you're going to need to activate your virtual environment. All right, so first off, we want to go set up a project in Alembic. We're going to get some practice using this Python package and just learning about programmatic migration. So we're going to go make a new folder just to keep everything kind of organized. So I'm going to say make dir folder. Just stands for make directory folder. I could just go here and do, what is it? There should be something for a new folder. I don't use VS Code that much. We'll just do it in the command terminal. So make dir, not folder, make dir alembic. That's the name of the folder. Press enter. And look, we have a new alembic folder right here. Going to go open that. And then we're going to go cd into, or change the directory into alembic. So cd alembic. We are inside alembic. That's great. So your terminal should look like that. And now we want to go initialize alembic. We're going to run this command right here. It's just going to basically generate a bunch of files and get everything set up for us. It's going to save us a ton of time and automate a lot of things. So we're going to type out alembic init. And this is really easy to miss, but yeah, don't forget to add that period right here. That period basically means we're setting up an alembic project in the current directory that we are in currently. So I'm just going to type this out. Alembic init, and then space, and then dot. Don't forget the dot. And then enter. And this will take a moment to run. Oh, actually, it won't take a moment. That's pretty quick. So you should see, stuff like this. It's going to generate all these files. You can learn more about them in your own time. But let's move on to the next thing. If you see like directory already exists, not empty, that means you've already done your Alembic setup. By the way, if you ever want to, like, if you kind of get lost during this and you need to kind of reset, you can scroll down here and it'll tell you how to kind of just reset everything. Just run these 4 commands, and then you can, start over with a fresh setup, because um, it can be easy if you miss something or you do something off to kind of mess things up. So that's just a way to reset. So let's get back to here. So it's gonna say, okay, so we want to go do ls just to make sure that everything is there. I mean, we can see it inside of here, but just ls inside the Alembic directory, see all this stuff. And it's going to tell you, like, you got to edit these, configuration settings before proceeding. So there's going to be a ini, or initialization file, for your Alembic project. So I'm going to go open it right here. Just double click that. And there's a lot of settings right here. There's a lot of things you can change. All we need to do is just kind of tell it what database we want it to go to. So it says SQL Alchemy URL. SQL Alchemy, I'm pretty sure we use it in the next exercise. That's just another package. That's a package that allows us basically to connect to a SQL database from Python. So we need to go give it kind of like its URL or link to the database, where to find it. So luckily, you don't have to figure that out. We can just copy and paste it right here. This is what that line should be. I think, it's on line 63. We're just saying it's inside the PG container on port 532, and it's the week 3 database that we're going to be working on. So going to copy and paste that to line 63. Going to get rid of this, backspace, Control V, and then Control S to go and save. Or if you're old fashioned, you can just save. So that is it for a configuration. Let's see what we need to use next. So there's a bunch of commands. I'm going to go over this during the workshop a little bit more, but now we want to actually go run some migrations. So I'm actually going to go, the exercises will tell you to do this later. I'm just going to do it right now so we don't forget. I'm going to go open up PG admin so we can actually see that database and see how our migrations change the actual database. Again, a shortcut to do this is just open up Docker Desktop. See this ports column right here? You just go here to the PG admin 5433. I click that, then I don't have to type out localhost. It's a little shortcut I like to do. So just going to go open up my week 3 database. I have to add a new connection. I'm going to name it just Nucamp. That's the name of my connection. And I'm connecting to the PG host. That's where my database is hosted on the Docker container. Save. And I'm going to go open this. Databases, I should have these databases. This is a fresh setup, so you probably have a little bit more from the workshop and the exercises. But I'm just going to open this week 3 database. This is what we're going to be working in. Schemas and tables. I shouldn't have any tables. Good. So I have that opened up. I'm going to go generate. So I'm going to go through these directions. So first thing we need to do is generate a migration file. So it looks like we want to create a customers table inside this database. So we're going to type, I guess we'll just type this out manually. So we're going to say Alembic revision. So that's just like saying, hey, Alembic, I want you to create a new migration file. And I'm going to say -m. Usually -m stands for like message, but that's like the name of the migration. And we're going to call the migration create customers, right? Yeah, create customers. And press enter. And it's going to generate a new Python file that will be able to run a migration for the database. So let's look at this. So yeah, we should see a new file that got generated. It's going to have a pretty long hexadecimal number right here, along with create customers, whatever name we gave it. It's going to be inside the Alembic/versions folder. So Alembic/versions, And this is mine. So I'm going to open it. It should look like this. The only real difference should just be this ID for the actual revision slash migration. So I know this is all new with migrations. We're going to go over this in the workshop. With every migration, we have an upgrade. So going up, and then we have a downgrade for undoing that migration. So luckily, they already give us the code that we need to put in. So a migration for upgrading the database is going to be creating a customers table. So I'm going to go copy this and I'm going to go paste this right here. So this is our upgrade, which is going to be creating this customers table. Make sure you don't forget these, what are they called? Quotation marks. Don't forget these. If you don't have them, it's just not going to work because the SQL needs to be inside a string. Because if you don't have these quotations, it's going to read it as Python code. But if you put it in quotations as a string, it's going to read it as SQL code. So this is our upgrade. And then this is our downgrade right here, which is obvious because, I mean, it makes sense because the opposite of creating the customers table is dropping the customers table. So I'm going to go do this right here. Oh, I want to replace the whole thing. Yep, that looks good to me. So we got our upgrade and downgrade for this migration. So we've created the migration. Yeah, now we just have to go run that migration. So if we want to go run that migration, we're just going to say Alembic upgrade head. Alembic upgrade head. Enter. Good. So it went and ran that migration. And you could do this inside the command line. Look at the actual customers table that should have been created. I don't really like using the command line that much working with SQL. pgadmin is so much easier to use. So I'm going to do that. So we already have everything open from before because we did that before. But I'm just going to go right click, refresh. Yeah, sometimes the refresh doesn't work and I need to actually reload the browser, but I think it worked. Let's go down schemas. So yeah, we should see an Alembic version table right here. I can go look at it, right click, view all data. And so check this out. We have this ID right here, which seems random, 058A4FB, blah, blah, blah. That's going to be the same as the ID right here. So it's keeping track of all these migrations, and it's going to make a lot more sense, I think, when we get to the workshop. This is some hard stuff, but it makes sense once you get over that learning curve. So we have Alembic version, and look, we ran our upgrade, we ran our migration, and now we have this customers table. I can right-click it, view, edit all data, all rows. So just select starring from it. And yeah, we could see we have this customers table with an ID and a name column, primary key, and a text data type right here. And we did all of that inside of Python. No SQL code was directly ran by us. It was all through Python, programmatically done. If we want to undo this, we want to run that downgrade, we can just do Alembic downgrade base, enter. And it will run this downgrade. It'll go drop that customers table. So if I go back to pgadmin, I go tables and then just refresh, that table got dropped. And that's pretty much what the exercises do. We can have another migration right here. We're going to go create it. So we'll go a little bit quicker this time. So we want to add a new migration that adds a date of birth column to the customers table. So we're going to go copy and paste that, create a new revision that adds a date of birth column, press enter. And that file has been created. I don't see it, so I'm just going to refresh this. And there we go. Yeah, just click this little refresh. And so we have this. And it has a new revision ID because this is a different revision. This is a different migration. So now we have two kind of levels in our migration. So we want to so in this migration, the first step, we created a customers table, and then to undo it, we drop that table. We want to add a new column to the customers table. That's called date of birth. SQL code is already given to us, so I'm just going to go copy this and paste. And it should give us a downgrade function too. So, what is the opposite of adding a column? Well, the opposite of adding a column is just dropping that column. So that's going to be our downgrade. And then we're going to go save. And now I think everything here is good. So right now, we want to run both of these migrations. So we want to run both of these where we create the customers table and then add the date of birth. So we just do Alembic upgrade, and it'll run all those things. Alembic upgrade head, so to the latest version. And it's going to run both of them, and we can go back to PG admin, refresh all these tables. So we have a customers table, but this customers table now has a date of birth column, and I can actually just run this query again. Oh, it's not working. There we go. So I just right click that, view edit all data, all rows. And yeah, now we have this new, get out of here. We have this new date of birth column. And if we wanted to, well, actually, let's see what the directions have. So we want to see all of our migrations. We can see all the IDs by looking in the Alembic version table right here. Let's do that again. I should say two of them. Oh, this is the one that we're on right now. Yeah. So right now we are on this migration version number, D0B. That should match what we just generated. Yep, D0B, this one. If we want to see a history of all the migrations we've done, we can just do Alembic history. And we're at the head where we added the date of birth column. That makes sense. And then the base is where we created the customers table. And that's pretty much Alembic right there. You can run Alembic current to see which one you're on. The ID will be different, just because it's randomly generated each time. We basically did all this. And then there's just, some bonuses. You can go through and run more migrations from this, I think, this PDF for the exercises. But like if I wanted to undo the second migration, I could say Alembic downgrade, and I want to just go to where I have the customers table, but I haven't actually created that date of birth column. So instead of head and base, I want to go to the specific migration. So I'm going to grab this ID right here, space, and I'm just going to paste that, and it will downgrade that to get rid of that date of birth column. And then if I go to PG admin, refresh, that column should be gone. There it is. Yep. And I got rid of that. And yeah, there's everything for the migrations. Cool. So that is it for this exercise. Next exercise, we'll go into object relational mapping. But good job, guys. We'll see you in the next lesson.